Hello, hello, and welcome to the Listening Room. This is a space where real conversation meets real solutions. I am your host, April DiPietro. I'm the Community Resource Director at the Care Management Organization, and we are joined today by Abbie Kasoff, Executive Director of Say It With Clay. Abbie, would you like to introduce yourself?
I would. Thanks for having me today. I'm excited to be here. What a cool forum to share information for our communities. So Say It With Clay is a small nonprofit organization. We're going into our 18th year of services, which is really exciting.
That is very exciting.
Thank you. And as the founder, I couldn't be more proud of where we are, where we've come from, and where we're headed.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So, we've been sharing with our listeners over the past few episodes the vision and goal of this podcast, right? So, we want to help as many parents and caregivers and other professionals from the community to have a better understanding of New Jersey's children's system of care. What is the Care Management Organization? And a huge piece of the work that we do with the young people that we work with is finding sustainable community-based resources that they can connect with and continue after their time within our program. So, how long ago did I meet you?
I want to say probably a little over a decade
Yeah.
prior to COVID. Yes, during COVID, we did so much work together.
We did.
With our virtual program that we actually created together
Yep.
during COVID. So we should guesstimate 12-ish years.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's a long
while.
time.
Long enough to really make impact together.
Yeah, which is really
We
cool.
started CNA together.
Yes, we did. The Community Networking Association. Yeah. So, what I want to focus on today, and something that we've been kind of setting the groundwork for with our listeners, is we have these meaningful conversations and then we follow it up with strategies or solutions or resources that the community can learn a little bit more about. So, that's really what I want to focus on today, right? So, Say It With Clay uses clay and art in a therapeutic type of way. Can you speak a little bit more about that?
Sure. So yeah, we use clay in many different therapeutic aspects and different program services that we offer. But the beauty of us, particularly, is the clay itself. And because clay is so malleable and clay offers many stages of development, so with that comes its ability to kind of connect with everybody who can benefit from the touch, the final product, which is something I write extensively about during grants, and also the three-dimensional aspect of it, what can be done with that final
Right.
product, whether it's for oneself or given to somebody else, left at a graveside. We've done multiple different types of outcomes with that
Right.
actual clay. So
Right.
because the clay lends itself to so many different opportunities, it really is, I believe, as hokey and corny as it sounds, in a world by itself.
Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely see how it's a form of communicating, maybe for someone who has a difficult time talking about something that maybe was traumatic, using the clay and the art that they're creating to be a part of that story and that healing journey, which is really incredible.
Yeah, thank you. And yes, that also speaks a lot to our treatment programs. While we do offer therapeutic outlets for all populations and or general public, because we're inclusion-based. We've been inclusion-based since day one. For those who may or may not know, sometimes, if I'm being honest, we confuse people. 'Cause
Yeah.
we kind of work with everybody.
Yeah.
People are sometimes confused by, what we have to offer to who. And
Yeah.
so we are so flexible with our programming and our development that we'll fit our programming to the needs of who can benefit. But with our treatment program, like you're talking about, using art as a alternative form of communication, we offer mental health treatment through traditional art therapy.
Love that.
With appropriate credentialed art therapists specifically.
Awesome.
And then we have a clinical director that oversees that treatment program.
That's excellent.
Thank you. And we offer that for ages 3 and up.
Okay.
And we cover all different topics. And we do individual, group, sibling, parent-child strengthening relationships,
Date night.
mental health. Yes. Treatment.
Yeah.
That's a form of self-care.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Not necessarily mental health treatment, but yes, we have our public programming too.
Let's tell our listeners where you're located.
Sure. So Say It with Clay, its main hub and original location is in Collingswood. And so that's our main Clay Studio hub.
Hmm.
But since day one, we've always had a mobile program, which is really
Talk
active.
more about that.
Yeah, so we take the clay on the road. We have for 18 years. So if somebody can't come to us, we go to them. And so we go to treatment homes, treatment centers,
Right.
behavioral homes, residential programming in general, day
Hmm.
programs, hospitals, synagogues, churches, schools, whoever really needs
Even
us.
businesses. You've come to the
Correct.
Camden CMO. We did a
We
like
have
management
team building.
team building activity, which
Yep.
was really cool.
Yeah, we do a lot of team building. We recently did one in Philly, so we're kind of all over the state of New Jersey, Philly, and Delaware.
Awesome.
And kind of, again, I love the word corny or hokey, but kind of whoever hires us, we
Yeah.
go there. Like, there's obviously logistics that come into play with that,
Right.
but, that is part of one of our main services. And then we just opened a new studio location in Medford, which is really exciting.
Awesome.
We're
Congratulations.
Thank
It's a
you.
lot of expansion.
Expansion there.
Yeah.
And our really, really exciting new program is called Clay at Work. And
Okay.
it is a 9-month job readiness training program that partners with our Collingswood studio,
Okay.
where participants from many different resources and age ranges create their own sellable wares. And then
Okay.
they have an on-site training program in our retail space in Collingswood,
Wow.
which is
Okay.
huge
And this
new.
is adults with developmental disabilities, correct?
Yep, that's one
Awesome.
service
Okay.
programming. And then we also work with anybody 16 or up who
Okay.
might be a high school dropout or
Okay.
an alternative high schooling program
Okay.
or secondary college. And we
Wow.
open just to anybody 16 and up. Like all our services, the big push is always that
Inclusive.
anybody can do it.
Right.
Anybody can benefit it. And you had a niece or a nephew that absolutely loved art for a living, but maybe
Yeah.
college wasn't their choice. You
Right.
could buy this 9-month program for them.
Oh, that's
It's like
awesome.
a college course, sort of.
Super
So,
cool.
yeah, everybody.
I
But
love
yeah,
that.
Thanks.
I love that
Yeah,
very
it's really
much.
exciting.
Yeah, that sounds great. So some of the work that we've done together, and my opportunity to actually get my own hands in clay, can you share with our listeners the Faces of Value
Sure.
and what that is and how it came about?
Sure. So, yes, I'm excited to talk about it and always excited to have you and other community members a part of that. So, we're about to start the campaign for, well, we started a little bit for Faces of Value 9, but mask making will begin soon. And the way I determined Faces of Value to be our annual fundraiser, when I started Say It with Clay, my background is a nonprofit sector only.
Okay.
So all my years of experience, I knew we had to have, or I wanted us to have, what made sense, an annual fundraiser that would repeat every year,
Okay.
that would build its own audience, that would build its own following.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so back then when I first started, the main goal of that annual fundraiser was always like, how do we get people to understand what we do and try what we do for anybody they think could benefit?
Right.
And the thought was get them to do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how the mask making
Get
was
their hands
born.
in it.
Get their hands in it.
Nice.
In addition to get people to try what we were going to do who would make a difference with helping us grow. So with those categories came the politicians, came celebrities, came artists, came our special needs population and family, came community leadership, which is where you come into play. Because once everybody gets it and
Yeah.
tries it, then the sky's the limit with,
Right.
oh, such and such can do this. I can refer this person. And now I really get it, because this is the kind of art that only really explains itself by doing.
Right.
I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it does. I get what you mean.
So that's how Faces of Value was born. And then at the very beginning of my development of this organization I was really hyper focused back then on just the mental health treatment piece.
Okay.
And, which can be difficult for people to access due
Right.
to finances or, insurance barriers and or whatever other barriers may come into play. So, I talk a lot about my dad influence on me, and one of those is that money should never negate the type of service that somebody could benefit from.
Right.
So from that came our scholarship fund in memory of my dad.
Okay.
And so Faces of Value raises funds specifically for our mental health treatment services for those who can't afford it. We have a very short application, which helps us keep track. But it is on the honor system. It doesn't do a background check or financial, levels or anything like that. It's just us being able to keep track who benefited from this on an annual basis, so that we can share that with our followers and our supporters
and the people who
support
support
make it happen, right?
Yeah, donate those dollars. That's amazing.
Sponsors and things.
That is really cool.
Yeah, so that's Faces of Value, in its glory, so to speak. And
That's amazing.
Become a really well-known, well-followed community event that I'm really proud of. Sometimes we think it's just so much work because it really is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is a 9-month commitment. It's put on by, a steering committee of volunteers. The night itself is run by all volunteers, including our staff, volunteer for the nights, our board, our members, everybody. But every time I think about potentially changing it or what will we do after number 10,
Right.
I'm like, I don't know. Like when people walk in, they're so wowed.
Yeah. If it's
And
not
I'm
broke, don't
wowed
fix it.
because everything looks dusty and overbearing in the studio when we're making and firing, but then we walk into the day and it is just incredible and beautiful, and it's pretty hard to top when it comes to fundraising.
If anyone is interested, can they see previous photos of past Faces of Values on your website or on your social media?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We have, hundreds and hundreds of masks and involvement and people making and everything about Faces of Value, yes, is on our website, our social media platforms, all that fun stuff.
Awesome. And if someone is interested in learning more or maybe coming down to the studio, is there a way that they can connect online, put in that request, or if they want to
Just in
sign up for a
general?
workshop? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. So in reference to services and workshops, our website has all that we offer in all our locations. If somebody was interested in our Medford location, they could go through that website to sign up. But that link is on our website. So
Excellent.
they can just visit our website.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you are listed on the resource net. That is another feature that we talk about often on this podcast because we want to make sure that the community at large understands what the resource net is. So you are listed on the resource net. Yeah. So families and individuals listening can get connected to Say It with Clay pretty easily. What about the Clay at Work piece, the one that you were saying you do with the adults? Is that information also on your website, or does it have its own website?
So it is a program of Say It with Clay. So it's on our website.
Okay.
And so, it's so new. So we're going into our second year of that. So it's not true new, but new enough where we want, we not only want, but we need the support of our existing community to help us spread the word, so
Excellent.
to speak.
Yes.
So, we go out and we do presentations and through all the organizations that we do have long-term partnerships with. But in addition to that, we were going to wait till we separate it. And I don't know that we ever will or won't yet, but it's just kind of newer stage right now.
Awesome.
So keeping it connected up is really important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This way people know it's all part of the same larger entity.
Yep.
Yeah. So in the beginning, I had said that one of the main purposes of this podcast is to make sure that we are educating the community about, more of the nuances with children's system of care and the services that are available and kind of spotlighting community-based resources.
Right.
Can you speak to a little bit of the work that you do with the CMOs, since many people who are going to be tapping in at first, I'm assuming, are going to be related or connected to the CMO in some way?
Sure. Absolutely. So we have contracted partnerships with 4 CMOs and with Mercer, Burlington, Camden, and Gloucester County CMOs. And what we do with those organizations is pretty varied, but we offer mental health treatment to the care managers. So if they have clients, whether it's kiddos or we've done some sibling work, we also do some strengthening family work together.
Okay.
So they'll refer for that service. We have camp. And what's really great with the CMOs that we've worked out with, supporting kids that may have special abilities or need some extra support.
Okay.
We'll bring in extra staff so
that's awesome.
everybody can attend. That's really important to me.
I'm noticing a theme here.
Yep.
All
It's
inclusive.
always
No one gets
inclusive.
turned
It's
away.
Always been. I've never turned anybody away other than, if it gets to a point where we can't effectively help someone. I don't ever want to set someone up for failure.
Right.
And keep our staff safe also is really important.
Right.
So with that said, though, we will bring in a second staff if we have to offer that one-on-one
To meet the
service. We've
need.
always done it. Right?
Yeah.
So also those kiddos from the CMOs can be with and like everybody else that they should be always.
Excellent.
So that's really important to me. And then with some of the other CMOs, we do some mobile programming. So we've gone out, like, for example, Mercer County last year hired us to come in. We did mental health treatment on site at the CMO building.
Oh, wow.
So took that transportation barrier out.
Okay.
Where our therapist went on site. They provided space every week and did treatment on site at the CMOs.
Oh, that's
for
awesome.
the parents of the kiddos that could benefit, that maybe couldn't get to one of our locations or may not be able to, commit to the ongoing commitment of getting there, so to speak. And then also for staff, we've done, team building. We've done some stress reduction. Another really great thing about engaging corporate companies and or the CMOs is a lot of times staff don't really know each other very well. And when, organizations have multiple locations where all their staff are not together all the time,
You kind of feel disconnected, yeah?
there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
Perfect word that I was going to say the same word. But so through artwork and through very strategic planning, we can plan projects and conversations and what we call sharing time, which we've done for 18 years, where they get to know each other
Yeah.
a lot better through that artwork, which
Absolutely.
lessens the uncomfortability.
Yes.
I have no trouble talking. I did treatment for years.
Yeah.
Not everybody can talk or is comfortable talking. So this is another form of sharing information that's not as uncomfortable or threatening or for anybody.
Yeah. There's I really love the talk tokens that you have. It's kind of like the one thing every office has, like a little talk token. I have some at my own personal home. But yeah, it's a really good icebreaker. It's a great way to just kind of get people to kind of open up a little bit. So I could totally see how kids and folks that are going through a therapeutic journey could use art and, of course, our friends here at Blue Light, music to offset the traditional talk therapy. So that's a really cool, different, unique way of looking at something and trying to get to that desired outcome using all different mediums and forms to do that.
Yeah. Art is incredibly powerful. It's incredibly universal. It is very accessible. While clay is an expensive form of art,
Right.
through our scholarships and whatever grants that we are lucky enough to obtain. We can make it accessible. And so, the more art, the better,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's fantastic. So how do you know Blue Light and Josh and the amazing crew here that makes this podcast possible?
So Josh and I go way back. We met, we determined about 15 years ago, on a personal note first. And he came to my studio using what was back then called a Groupon. That I don't even know if a Groupon exists anymore.
I think they do.
May or may not. Yes, I think they still do. And just started talking, and we shared a passion for art and different forms, Josh and I. And Ski Forward over the years just started doing collaborative work together and helping each other grow by introductions, by partnering, by showing up for each other as supports in general, volunteering our time for each other.
That's awesome.
Helping each other wherever, however we can.
Yeah.
And from that has come an incredible partnership, an incredible friendship. But more than anything, I think, I get emotional like I always do. A credible respect for each other.
Yeah.
And understanding of the importance of what we all do to help our communities. And I think we share such a common goal, right? So
Help people.
with you too, as
Yeah.
well, to help people be successful,
Yeah.
but also by doing that through a form of art.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Something that I, really appreciate with Blue Light and the team here is coming together for a desired outcome, right? So one of the things I hope that this podcast can showcase is in Camden County, I feel like as a culture and a community where professionals are a little bit more maybe than other areas, open to collaboration, open to breaking down those silos and really coming together. And, how can we do this in a partnership versus separate silos? And that's something that I have been hearing through your response, right? Like to the various questions. So like connecting with Josh and supporting one another. And if there's, a family or an individual that your staff is working with and music tends to come up, like just saying, oh, hey, like there's also this other opportunity. Like you seem, really into this and artistic. Like, have you tried music? And just kind of that back and forth and that relay. And that's really how I got to know the both of you, right? Because through the work at the CMO, like my role is to go out and find the community-based resources, share it with my staff, and then it gets back to the families that could utilize that information, right? So I know we spoke about the resource net and how we use that in the community to just kind of connect everyone, and both Josh, Blue Light, you with Say It with Clay, everything is inside of that resource net. Is there a hope that you have from this particular episode of the podcast? Like this is a platform and a space
Sure.
that we are tapping into for the first time in a different way. What do you want the listeners to kind of take away from today's episode?
What a great question.
Yeah.
I'd say first and foremost is I agree with you that, in the state of New Jersey, there is, as far as I believe, right? Because I can only speak for myself.
Right.
There's so many great resources. There's so many great community opportunities. So what I would want from the listeners to know, what I would want from listeners to take from this is when things may be difficult, tap into your resources. It's really hard to ask for help.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, it is.
I have seen that throughout my career in the human service arena, in the nonprofit sector. It's harder to ask for help than to struggle on your own. I believe that. It's hard. Life is hard.
Yeah. It almost makes it real when you ask for help.
It does. Yeah. Right. So then, it's outward. It's there then. Right.
Yeah.
But because there are so many alternative options in our communities, I do believe that the help is there for everybody. And for those where there may be less help, right? You and I have talked about that before too. There are some restraints with certain age ranges and things. We are working on it.
Yeah.
I can proudly say that, we talk about it all the time. I've met with Karen, like we've talked about that, some of those age ranges that are tougher to find resources for. But I talked about my dad. I'm going to mention my mom. My mom used to always say to me, if you don't ask, you won't know.
Right.
And there's always a 50-50 shot for one of those answers, right?
Yeah.
So always ask. There is help. And be able to ask. And that is, I think, the hardest thing. And that's what I would want listeners to take away from this. We can have all the resources in the world, but if people don't feel like they have the ability to ask or, they're nervous, somebody can't help them because of whatever theirs are, disabilities or challenges or just needing a break from life for a while.
Yeah.
I always say that to Clay, like, just forget about life for a while.
Yeah.
Just ask.
Yeah, just take a pause. Can I just say for a moment that I love that your answer had absolutely nothing to do about, I want the takeaway to be Say It with Clay, all abilities, we don't turn anybody away. Like you took that opportunity to just really connect with people and say, like, life is hard. Ask for help. The help is there. Like, thank you for that. I mean, it just goes to show why you were one of the community members I wanted to bring in to kind of highlight, because the work that you do is meaningful. It is unique and beautiful in its own way, but just because of the type of person that you are, and that filters through your business and what you're trying to do through Say It with Clay and Clay at Work. So I really appreciate your time and sharing with our listeners the great resources that you have and where it's going, and Faces of Value 9.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah,
you
so
for your
thank you
kind
very
words.
much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying not to cut you off. I
Yeah.
do appreciate that. And thank you for offering this platform. Thank you. Irregardless, I'm hopeful and grateful for exposure.
Yeah.
One of the things that's my challenges as the executive director and the founder is to keep us growing, right?
Yeah.
And that's hard.
It is.
It's hard. The more people fall in love with clay in our society
Yeah.
in general,
Yeah.
like it's important to keep growing.
Yeah.
And that's part of where Clay at Work stemmed from.
Yeah.
Was that growth. But we have more things in store. And
Yeah.
we're really excited for what's to come.
Absolutely.
And, thank you for believing in us and supporting us. And everybody should just keep creating.
Yeah. That's excellent.
That's it. Just keep
Absolutely.
creating.
Well, on that note,
Thank
thank you everyone for tapping in. And that is today's episode with Miss Abbie Kasoff with Say It with Clay and Clay It Works. And until next time, thank you very much.